Okay.
Yeah,
But
at least
that's the way they did
at
it
least.
last year.
Hey, no, last year what happened is the regionals was all on the Friday. So they would go through it. Session one and session two would normally be like open bodybuilding in the morning, some figure woman stuff, classic bodybuilding. And then session two would normally be like men's physique, women's bikini, and I think one other division, and that
Yeah.
would be session two. So what they're doing now, and then the pro qualifier would be the day after in that same order. All right. But then, which means
Yes.
that you'd have to go home and then come back the next day to compete in the pro qualifier. Now, in this year, they're doing everything on the same day. So the guys that are all in session one will recompete in session two, and then the next day will be bikini and stuff like that. So, like for example, on the Friday will be open bodybuilding classic and figure. In the morning, the regional, and then they'll compete again at in the second session that starts at 2 p.m. So they'll just have to be
No,
on stage twice, though.
no, that's what they did last
But
year. Because I did it last year.
yeah, was it like that?
Yeah.
I thought the regional was always the day after. I mean, the pro qualifier was the day after.
Day after. Yeah, no, this time they did it that way.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's if you look at the competitions overseas, they always have prejudging and finals, always.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically like that if you want to think about it.
But I think they've done one or two European shows like that where they did the prejudging finals in the same day.
No, it is going to be on the same day. And
Most
that's
of
how
it
it's
is on
always
the
Not,
same
been.
day.
But
yeah.
what I'm saying is the NPC shows before, like
Yeah.
last year's pro qualifier in December, it was the regional called Eye Candy on the Friday, which was all of them. You go and you go through all the categories. Then the day after, which was the NBC Africa show, was on the Saturday, which was for the pro cards.
No, dude, I'm telling you, it was the same day. I competed both same days. I did the regional because I didn't compete the whole year last year. Then I did the regional at the end of the year, and then jumped into the pro qualifier in the evening.
Really?
Yeah, dude,
Okay.
because it finished so late. There was nothing like we couldn't go and eat anywhere, so we literally just ordered like pizza and just sat at home.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
Did y'all ever do the nationals back in the day where prejudging was some of the categories were judged on Friday and then the main show was on Sunday?
Yes, yes, no.
They, they used to do the
That's
juniors,
far apart.
masters, and I think one or two ladies lineups on Friday. Then Saturday would be the opens, all the weight classes, prejudging. Then Sunday
Yeah,
would be
Yeah.
the top six of each of the divisions and overall. It was rough. I had to hold the
Nah,
peak for 2 days.
it's hectic.
yeah, I
Is
can
that
imagine.
South African shows?
Yeah, back in the day, like SA's, IFBB.
Right, Julian's been
I've never
competing since
been
12,
that.
Tarek.
Hey man, I've been competing. When did I start? 2008.
Long.
Yeah, I'm doing this shit for a long
I
time.
mean, I only competed in two IFBB shows, and then I went to NPC.
Yeah,
I did. I think it was Summer Bodies. I think you remember when Ben still hosted it with IFBB, and then he moved away and he made Summer Bodies like a different federation or whatever. I did Summer Bodies in 2017. That was my first show. And then 2018, I did Massa Militia. And from then, I just did NPC shows.
My first show was like 2007 or 2008.
That's still fucking school,
That's
bro.
just, the Oakers the man's got like 10 years on us.
Yeah.
I was 18 years old at my first show.
How old are you, Julian, now?
Now I'm 36.
So you're only 2 years old. So you started at what age competing?
18.
18. Wow.
Oh, there's the
Yeah.
man.
With
What's
Bayanga.
what's up, boys?
How's it,
What's
man?
happening?
Leka,
How's it, bro?
how's it going,
How's
guys?
it? Good,
Okay.
Good,
man.
and you?
Yeah? What's the story?
I was just telling them how we started as juniors around the same time. What year
Boy,
did you start?
I started 2008.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
see,
lied. 2009. I'm lying. 2009.
yeah,
2009.
I started a year before you. I started when I was like 17, turning 18.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, bruh. Hey, listen, hold on. Let me do this quickly.
So you're gonna bust a pose for us.
I wonder, yeah, shirt's coming off. Nice pillow there, dude. The little dog bones and paws in it.
Hey, bro, this I'm an old man. I'm an old bully now, bro. So my back, I need to take care of my back. You know. I'm telling you, boy, it's real out here. All right, what's up, boys?
Good,
Hey,
What's
not
man.
much,
new?
man.
So you take all the
Have
hair
I
off so we don't see
rotated
the gray.
fine?
Strategic, bro.
Yeah. No, I leave it there. They're all yeah.
Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
bad for you. Hey, Jay, it's bad for you now, bro. It's
Yeah. For every gray hair, the extra wisdom, bro.
you don't want to rock the
hey.
salt and pepper look.
Salt and pepper look.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm looking forward to that look, eh? I keep telling my
seriously.
wife, yeah, bro, I don't mind that. Like, and I know it's gonna hit me because my grand was Silver Fox, right? All over.
Yeah.
My mom, same story. Older brother, mom, sister, everybody. So I know it's coming.
All right. I think I'm in denial about it. Because the minute I see a gray hair, I'm like, straight to the barber.
Ah, bro, me.
If you look at this beard,
It's
it's
like,
starting to come all over here. There's some
Yeah, in
beard
a
yeah,
beard,
here.
no,
it's
It's
cool.
so
listen,
bad, man.
but I'm talking about,
So it's gonna suit
grace.
me,
I'm
man.
just looking at the
I'm still
beard, man.
young,
Like,
bro.
oh, yeah, shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. What's been up?
Yeah.
I can't complain,
Been
man.
up?
Julian and tired?
Are you
What's been going
guys,
on since the
all
last
of
time we
you
spoke?
guys are from Durban or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the only Joburg guy here.
Yeah.
I think
What's
Baya's
going on, Thomas? You need new friends, bro.
signal's not like
What
us.
you mean, bro? These two have been
No,
my day one, bro. When I
this is
started
the
competing, I
weather.
was like running up to these guys and be like, hey, what do I need to do? What do I need to improve? So, yeah, fuck.
I remember your first show, Thomas. What
Oh,
was it? It was East Coast. Did you do East Coast or Novice? What was it that you did
no, that was
first,
my second show. The first show was
Thomas?
the
Oh,
Iron Man novice thing.
right, yeah,
The novice show.
the Novice show.
Is
That's
it
right.
skipping on your side?
Yeah, bro, we all started there.
It is a little bit, yeah.
We all started there.
Was that show
Hey,
and
what's up,
then,
Julian?
yeah, I did the East Coast.
Of course, classic.
East Coast Classic.
He's fucking Belito singing.
Maybe they
No,
stole the
listen,
cables.
it's the
Hey, did they steal
weather.
the cables again?
Weather's ugly this time. Hey, don't laugh. Don't laugh. We just lost
I think
power
they're
like
stealing his
2 hours ago,
Wi-Fi
so
signal as well.
we might lose power again. I'm crossing my fingers we don't lose power again.
Hey, fuck, don't say that, bro.
Yeah,
We'll just have to
listen,
put one of those
it's
little,
happened. It's happened.
into missions where it'll be like, we have lost by during the recording of this podcast.
Yeah.
Richard.
Write a short message at the bottom.
Yeah. So what's been going on with you, Bayan? Where have you been hiding? What's new?
Bro, a lot's new.
He's
I
frozen.
haven't been hiding though. Like, hey, bro, listen. I'm a parent now. Okay, I'm a parent. I'm a husband, and so there's things that are taking priority. There's things that are taking my time. You know, there's work. I'm working nonstop. Like, I'm between two jobs. A man's got to do what a man's got to do. Y'all know the story. You know, so I'm a trainer, and I got a
Tell
nine
me,
to
these
five.
numbers here, the percentages, is that our signal percentages?
No, that's just uploading. Where do you see percentages? I only see one. The uploading percentage.
Above everyone's
I
name,
also see
percentage.
percentages. Yeah.
Nothing about that.
Tyrant sitting at 100%.
Times at 109 is 99.
Baya's sitting at 50.
Thomas shoot 83. I'm on 48, bro. What you
Yeah.
talking about?
I think you're on like 10% because you're only
No,
getting a better signal there.
Yeah. We're getting
no. Listen,
getting
you know what it
screenshots.
is? It's no. You know what it is? It's bodybuilding score. It's bodybuilding scorecards. Lowest number wins. So I'm in the lead with my 48.
Why are you saying so much of funny shit but we can't hear it?
Oh yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, we seem to have.
Baya, Bayanda, are you on your cell
What's
phone
that?
signal or are you on a Wi-Fi?
No, listen. My cell phone signal is actually working better than the Wi-Fi. So I had to
Yeah.
switch to cell phone signal because Wi-Fi was cut.
So why don't you go on the cell phone signal? I'll send you data
Yeah,
tomorrow or something.
maybe switch the signal.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Try switch to
Let me try.
your mobile data. We'll all send you 6 gigs.
Yo, 6
I'm
gigs.
already on it, bro.
She could be on like Vodacom where it's like fucking 500 rand a gig or some shit.
I'm switching back to Wi-Fi now. Let's
Shame, man.
see.
All right. Oh, it's
Okay.
your flipping switching back and forth that's messing things up. Choose your struggle.
No, because you guys told me to do that. I'm doing that because you guys said my signal's bad.
So what's been going on with you guys since the last time we spoke? Anything new?
Stress. That's all.
Uh-oh.
Less sleep.
Good stress or bad stress? Yeah.
I don't know. I stressed more. So that evening that I spoke to you guys, I literally did an upgrade. I don't know if you saw, I was working on my computer at the same time. And I
Yeah.
was doing an upgrade during the evening. I only finished like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I had no food the next day. I was just on call the whole day.
Yeah.
And then my meals were shit. So I dropped like 2 kilos over those few days. Then I
Yeah.
just did like refeeds over the weekend. I had a whole bunch of burgers and shit like that. Sushi buffet to try and get the weight back up.
You didn't have
All
cottage
right.
cheese and
So
rice
yeah,
cakes lying around.
Yeah.
I did. Don't worry, I've got that.
Okay.
I made sure
Just send
it
them
was
my
those easy. That's the problem is when I don't have my cottage cheese and rice cakes, it's not easy access, you know. So that's why I lost weight. It takes too much time to cook beef and rice.
This is true, man.
Yeah.
Julian, your side?
Other than watching the Olympia, I had a busy weekend. Was the Pali's birthday.
Yeah. How old is he now?
63. Yeah, he's still fit, man. He's a full vegetarian. Still very fit.
Impressive.
So, yeah.
All right.
So at least there
I've
was
just
more
been.
meat for us in the posy.
What you
My
get
side
up to
just
the
been.
weekend?
I just work, man. Trying to get like all my client stuff done before I go into hospital, so that they don't like fucking stress and they don't hear from me for like 2 days. I've actually got one person competing in the regional that's coming up next weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so just trying to get her ready for it. And yeah, man. And then these guys have been like promoting this. I don't know if you guys know this. I did like a little short film. So it's actually coming. It's going to be released next week, Friday. It's going to be at Suncoast. It's a cinema here in. Well, actually, it's like a whole casino thing here in Durban.
Oh,
So
okay.
your
Yeah.
operation is booked.
Yeah, going in on Wednesday.
And what's the recovery time they estimated?
They said 4 to 6 weeks, but they said like that's before I can get back into gym. But they said like a couple of days, then I can be up and moving about and stuff like that. They said the worst of the operation is actually because they move your throat pipe to the side. They said people feel that more than they actually feel the disc being replaced.
Oh, so you're doing it from the front.
Yeah,
Nah, man, 3 weeks.
And did you put your BPC and TB500 in the fridge?
all ordered, man, all ready to go.
Okay.
Slam it,
Then
10
you
IUs
then
at
you
the
should
same
be
time.
you should be there. You should be there in half the time.
Yeah, about 2 weeks I should be back.
Yeah.
It'll be funny, Julian, to go train legs.
Hey, when I tore my chest, man, that doctor trained me. What did he tell me? He told me like 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but by 3 weeks I was already starting to train.
is it?
Did they
Yeah,
have to reattach? Did they reattach
reattach.
it, or was it?
Yeah, there's a scar. Yeah. So mine tore off the tendon. So tendon was still in the bone.
Yeah,
So it was easier to put the tendon in the bone than group up the muscle and put it back in the tendon.
Yeah.
But lucky I had a really good surgeon. He's a fundi.
yeah.
Yeah. I've been having
Yeah,
such bad shoulder issues here in the front of my delts. You know, on sort of the tendon area. So like I can't really do any incline presses anymore. Like my incline pressing I used to be quite strong with it, and I think I've got like little micro tears in the
tears,
tendons.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna probably go for what's it called, a sonar, in order to go see MRI to go see Yeah, to see if there's actually micro tears because I went for scans. So on this one, on this shoulder, I have a spur on the one shoulder. All right, so like I can't really rotate it all the way back. And then this one started paining very similar because my whole rotator cuff started hurting, but it was
Yeah.
like an impingement, from the front out. And I went for an X-ray on there, but I picked up nothing was wrong. The bones seemed fine and whatever. So I'm pretty sure it's little micro tears on the tendons that's causing, and it's been like that for the last like 6 months.
So let's hope it's just scar tissue,
Yeah.
It could be. It could be.
preventing your movement.
We back.
It's a fuck up because like it fucks up your back movements,
Yeah.
shoulders, chest, everything. It's a mess. And like
Bro,
you're
from
so
my side,
busy, like sorry?
no, go for it. Finish.
No, like you're so busy, you don't even have time to go and do these operations or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's the last thing on my mind. I don't really want to take time out.
Yeah. Oh, from my side, dude, I got like zero contraction on my left hand side. Like if I squeeze a bicep or tricep extension, chest press, everything on the left hand side just
Yeah,
doesn't
you
fucking
have to
function
you
very
have
well.
to you
So,
reach a point you have to sort it out.
yeah.
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 Hey, I'm a men's physique athlete, bro. I don't need to be as big as you guys. I do the bitch weights, and then I'm fine. Just a
Fuck off,
little.
bro. You're probably the strongest though here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so check the weight the so lifts, bro.
Hey, and some of these men
It's
physicals
ridiculous.
look like bodybuilders.
Yeah.
What's that?
Have you? I said a lot of these old from men's physique look like thick as bodybuilders now. Anyway.
Bro, overseas, it's no joke. It's no joke. the men's physique overseas, the guys look literally like our open bodybuilders. They just
Yeah.
more aesthetic. That's about it.
Have any of you
Yeah.
watched that Physical 100 on Netflix?
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you seen that guy
It's
called
good.
Thanos?
yeah.
Man,
He's
I
a
thought he
men's
was a
physique athlete,
bodybuilder.
but he's
He's a
fucking
fucking
tall.
men's physique guy.
Men's physique. I just saw that as well.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, that
Hey,
Thanos guy. I thought he was a bodybuilder
Yeah.
also, but he's actually men's physique.
hey, I
I
was
just saw him
shocked.
I
Bro.
compete.
used to watch this thing.
I saw him competing. I was like, what? Men's physique?
He was like
Like this?
fucking 2 meters tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
should have
amazing.
seen him.
You know
You
what
should have
the
seen him in that show. The show, he was thick as shit.
Big.
you know it was the funniest. I think it was with like even Thomas when I competed in the regional shows. Like in Durban and stuff like that. So I competed in all categories. Whenever somebody saw me competing in men's physique categories here, they were like, "No, you're too big for men's physique. You're too big for men's physique." And they're like, "No, you should be doing bodybuilding or classic or whatever." And I'm like, "No, trust me, the guys overseas in men's physique are huge."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, you'll see, you won't win in men's physique. You won't win in men's physique." No,
No,
the
people
guys are
won't
huge in men's
understand
physique.
But
until you go overseas
guys,
and watch
here's
a
a
show.
question. Here's a question for you guys. With
Yeah.
regards to what we just spoke about with the caliber of men's physique overseas as opposed to men's physique over here, do you not think to some degree, yeah, of course it's not, the federations or the officials' fault that athletes aren't huge, if I can put it that way. But because they expected not to be big, but then they go overseas and they get their asses beat because the caliber. Don't you think it's a setup for the athletes, an indirect setup for our athletes to fall short when it comes to overseas competition?
Actually, yeah, you're right, dude. Let's get into this topic, actually. This is something I've been wanting to address for a very long time,
Yeah.
especially in the IFBB. There will be like this, like, even with the women's divisions, it's like the fitness bikini. They'll be like, no, they need to look more beach bikini vibe, so forth, so forth. Then
Yes.
they go over there and get their ass handed to them instead of sticking to like the international criteria for what they need, not
Exactly.
our local criteria, and then expect
No.
these girls or these athletes, in fact, to perform miracles in that
Do
however many
well.
weeks to get to that condition. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it's exactly
And
that
it's actually,
because, yeah, go for it, Tom.
I was going to say, like, one thing I'd also do, I was thinking was that sometimes you'll see an athlete will win a lineup and they're not in the best shape okay, unfortunately they were the best on the day, but they still don't fit the criteria. So my thing is, I think judges should be able to call people aside and be like, look, you won today, and congratulations for that because you were the best for today. However, we're not sending you to Worlds or overseas because you're not in shape yet. Maybe 4 weeks from now, send us progress pictures and see what you look like, and then we can consider or something like that there. Because I just feel like it's blind to send athletes over. What should I say? Just to compete, you know? Especially because like people are like doing all sorts of shit like to get this money, you know, and then just to go there and like not even make a call out because they don't fit the criteria.
Yeah. Look, but that's exactly my point.
You guys still with me?
Like, can you guys hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, I just had to get a charger.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if I can put my 2 cents into that.
Yeah.
Having competed overseas and mostly, doing different categories overseas, I think a lot of the people here locally are trying to chase either a card or trying to chase competing or whatever the case is. They're not giving their body time to get to that maturity, to get to that size that the international standard wants. We all on Instagram, we can see what a men's physique guy looks like. We can see what a classic guy looks like. We can see what an open bodybuilder looks like in all these pro divisions. Now, I can't get it in my mind that these guys, like especially the younger guys, the younger generations, when they do their first competition, I get it. You're gonna do your first competition. You're gonna either do men's physique or classic or whatever the case is, and get a feel for it, right? But in my mind, I don't know how you can think that as a starting guy, this guy only weighs, let's say for my example, my height, right? I'm 186 centimeters. My weight cutoff, and this is an easy way to analyze it. My weight cutoff as a men's physique athlete for a pro division would be 105 kilos. 105 kilos is fucking heavy at a pro standard, right? Now imagine if I have to look at it, right? If as an amateur, like if I look at a classic, for example, men's physique as an amateur for my weight cutoff would be 104 kilos in classic. Now, when I got my pro card, I was 100 kilos to 102 kilos when I got my pro card, and that was in men's physique. All right. Now you're getting guys that are like either in classic, in men's physique, or whatever. These guys is cut off. They are well under 10 to 8 kilos under the weight cap as an amateur. Now, what makes you think if you are already underneath that weight cap? So let's put it in this way. Like if I'm a pro and my weight cutoff needs to be 105 kilos, and I'm now an amateur wanting to be a pro, would you not think that before I get my pro card, I should be along the lines of either within 2 to 4 kilos of what a pro weight cap should be? You get what I'm saying? You know, and a lot of the guys are only making like 8 kilos underneath their weight cap. And yes, you might be aesthetically blessed where you look amazing on stage, but all the guys overseas are aesthetically blessed. The only thing they have on top of you is weight, is actual muscle mass to their body. So if you go overseas and you compete and you 8 kilos underneath the weight cap, you're going to look like a child next to these guys. 4 kilos of muscle is a lot of muscle to be different about. You get what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
You know, and I always tell these guys when they're chasing these pro cards, if you are either 2 kilos underneath your weight cap, in my opinion, you're aiming too high too quickly. I'd rather take time off and get to about, within that range in order to be, because I don't want to get a pro card and then take 2 years off to do a pro show. What's the point of that? You get what I'm saying? I want to get my pro card and try and compete the same day if I want to compete. I want to be competitive. I want to be seen as a thing. So a lot of the guys, I don't think it's naive. You on Instagram, you can see what these guys look like. I just think people are impatient. Muscle doesn't take a year to put on. If you think you're going to get 4 to 6 kilos in a year, you either have to be a newbie, but nobody that has been lifting for at least 4 or 5 years is going to get 6 kilos in a year. And you can take as much gear or whatever you want to get there. I don't know, but I just think that like a lot of people are chasing it too quickly. I don't think it's like, oh, they're taking something different overseas to whatever. I think it's just purely about taking time off and getting that muscle mass on your body to look that way. I mean, I competed the last 2 to 3 years continuously every year. I picked up 1 to 2 kilos a year because of that, because I didn't take the time off that I
Yeah, that's
needed.
why I'm taking the
I
time
don't know
off.
about you, Julian. How much muscle were you taking? Because you've been competing as wild fights, every single year. How much muscle were you actually putting on in a year?
Yeah, I think that was my downfall. I never took a year off to really grow. And then, see, classic. The reason I moved to classic because my weight cap went from initially amateur was 74 kilogram was my cap for classic. Then when I looked again, like last year, they moved the pro weight cap up to 82. So that's
Yeah.
closer to me. I've always competed under 80. I've been like
And
78.
that's exactly what you should be doing. Because let's say, for example, your physique, right? I agree that you made a good move going to classic in a way, all right? Because you still have the aesthetics for classic and you meet the weight criteria. You get what I'm saying? The
I was
only
way under the
downfall
weight
is for,
criteria.
even for a classic.
Yeah, I was 76.
You
So
see, you
82
still
was
have
a
room
cap.
to grow.
Yeah.
You see, so you still have room to grow to be competitive with the guys at the top. But
Yeah.
if you look at it, for example, your only downfall is even if you get that weight, what is classic right now?
The tall
Tall.
guys. Yeah.
They want these tall guys. And
Unfortunately.
even with the men's physique guys, like for example, the only reason why I moved to men's physique from classic was why? Because I met the weight criteria in a way there, and I had a good V taper. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I moved into the men's physique. But it doesn't mean that, like, for example, I was losing overseas in classic when I did the amateurs. I mean, I won most of my classic divisions here locally. But as soon as I went overseas, I was well underweight. My weight cutoff as an amateur was 104 kilos. I was only weighing generally about 100 kilos on stage. So I was well under 4 kilos at classic, hence why I wasn't winning overseas. I still had a lot of muscle to put on. So I dropped a division, went into men's physique, and guess what? My body luckily suited men's physique as well. So that's why I won there.
And another thing
But
people don't realize about the cap is, for example, my cap is 82. That's 82 on the weigh-in. That's not 82 on stage. These guys don't
Yeah.
come in on the cap weight. They come in heavier. They just make weight, reload on fluids and carbs, and they're heavier. That's a 212 is a
Bro,
perfect example. It's a 96 kilogram cutoff. Those guys are not 96. On the scale, they're 96. But when they
yeah,
reload fluid and carbs, they're above 100. And I've seen this at
yeah,
World Champs, man. I've seen this.
yeah.
You look at the guy in the
Guys don't
weigh-in.
understand, like, even when I did the amateur Olympias, right? I would see these classic guys. This is the first time that I saw real classic, flippin' thick ass guys. When I went there and these guys had to make weight cutoffs, they were flipping on the floor laying, looked like they were
Stretching.
dehydrated like biltongs. They were just dried out and they couldn't move. They would weigh themselves just to make weight, and then they would normally have like a 1 to 2 day carb up and refuel. They were probably good 4 kilos above their weight cap after that because of getting rehydrated and food back in their system. These
I used
guys
to do the
just to
same
make
thing
weight, and that's, yeah,
when
it's
I was an
crazy.
amateur. You dehydrate to make
Yeah,
weight and you put back 2 liters back one time.
yeah,
2 liters is 2
yeah.
kilograms.
And I see a lot of these guys every single year, and I look at their physiques, and and I try not judge a lot of the amateurs too much. And sometimes I play. I'm a very bad guy. I'll go in a guy's DM and I'm like, dude, you're chasing this card too hard. Rather take the time off, get some muscle mass on you. Because I know the men's physique guys overseas, I know the classic guys overseas. I'm like, dude, you have an amazing physique. Don't get me wrong, your structure is there. But you need the time to put on that real muscle mass.
Yeah.
I'm not even insane in the head. Like I competed at the Dubai Pro with you. Even myself, being as big as I am in men's physique, those guys are huge. Their backs are huge. Now, my weight cutoff as a men's physique athlete is 105 kilos. I should be aiming that my physique falls out at 105 kilos and just makes it if I'm going to compete with the guys overseas. You get what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste time, and that's why I'm taking a year to 2 years off, because whether or not I might even go into classic, you never know. But I'm not going to go and compete again overseas, waste my money if I'm not even making the weights to stand with these big guys overseas. You get what I'm saying?
So I've got a question for you guys. Do you think the reason people don't want to take the time off here is because of the fact that they try and be relevant in social media? Because now nobody cares who you are if you haven't done a show for like 2 years, and also there's nobody asking you, oh, when's the next show? At your local gym or
Yeah.
whatever like that. So do you think
In my
they're
honest
more worried about
opinion,
that?
I don't know. I'll let you guys answer that first, and then I'll give my opinion last because I like to talk too much. Let you
For
guys go.
me, I competed every year because I didn't want to fall off sync. I didn't want to fall off rhythm, number one. And we're aging now, so I didn't want to use a year off competing. I don't even post shit on social media, so that doesn't even relate to me. But you're talking about in general.
Yes, no, in general. I'm not saying us. I'm talking about people in general. Like,
Yeah,
I
well,
think
it
every
could
person has
be
different.
like for me. I'm scared
Go
I'll
ahead.
fall off. I get jerk, I get fat, and get way out of shape. That's why I keep the rhythm. So maybe some of the
yeah.
guys are doing the same thing. But what you're saying is they're competing yearly and not progressing is to stay relevant. That I think possibly that is the main reason.
But
Baya, what do
look,
you think?
here's another thing. Here's another thing. Like, this is my opinion. There's We gotta understand something here. That when it comes to the sport, there's calibers. Okay, there's
Yeah,
calibers in
yeah,
the sense that there's amateur. I just started competing. Um, all I want to do is compete because
yeah.
also I'm competing because I'm thinking I'm going to get sponsorships. I'm competing because I think I'm going to be this guy. I'm going to be the next big thing, and that's okay. I mean, that's all. That's where we all started. We started the sport, and we saw that this is a possibility. Unfortunately, nowadays there's no such thing. Sponsorships aren't being given out as much as they used to be. So that's a box that I will slightly remove from all the boxes I'm about to mention. But that's one of them, right? Guys come in, they compete, and again, it's either one, they just love to compete, or two, they love to compete, but they obviously the gain of sponsorships, potential sponsorships, and this and that. I mean, you get people DMing you. They've just competed once. Like, how do I get a sponsorship? I'm like, you're
Yeah.
asking the
Can you
wrong
hook me
guy.
up with the guy you
Let's start
sponsored
there.
by?
You're
Yeah.
like,
You need to learn to sponsor yourself
like
first.
sponsor
Yeah.
yourself, and you're gonna sponsor yourself for years. If you're lucky, you
Yeah,
might get some.
Exactly. Yeah.
But listen, you might even sponsor yourself forever until you stop the sport.
Yeah.
This is how it is. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily how good you are, but it's a lot of things now. I mean, like the social medias and stuff like that. So again, on that sponsorship note, a lot of these athletes are putting their work up on social media, their competition status up on social media, because again, they obviously trying to get the following, trying to get this, trying to be relevant,
yeah,
and make a name for themselves in a sense where, they're going to get all of these things that follow them. So that's the first clause. And then there's the second clause. The guy who's been competing and is in the next upper echelon of the amateurs. Now, here's a guy who's a veteran in the amateurs and either wants to be a pro or doesn't really, just wants to keep kicking ass as an amateur,
Mm.
right? So now that's the guy that's borderline. I want to one day be a pro, or I want to just keep winning national titles. This is the guy who's winning national, provincial, and national titles now. A guy who's a force to be reckoned with. He's known. She's known. Any competition that they go to, they are a name and they are looked out for. If you're in bodybuilding, you're looking out for this guy. Men's physique, they're looking out for this guy because they know this guy now. He's been around, you know, and so those guys, again, now the competition, not as much. They're not competing as often. But because also for them now, competition is like, hmm, financially, it's not giving me anything back, right? I've been competing for years and I don't really have anything to show for it. So now I'm at a point where I compete because I love what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It
I,
used to
I,
be like that back in the day, though.
it used to be like that, right? Now
Even on the
it's
international level, it used to be like that.
100%,
Used to, you
100%.
go to world champs, you'll see the same old winning the same weight class
Same old,
for like
bro.
for like 4,
How
5,
many
6 years
times?
in a row.
How many times did Hadi Chupan win the world championships?
Yeah. You
You know
see, it
what I mean?
changed when
Like,
the split happened. When the split happened,
yes,
they
yes,
lost their prestigiousness. So then
hundred
everyone's
percent.
like, "Hey, fuck that! I'm going to the pros." And they were just
So I'm
they
going to the
qualified pros
pros.
long time ago.
A long time, bro. So you're going to world
Yeah.
championship as an amateur. Here's another thing: you're going to the world champs as an amateur on South African criteria. No disrespect to our criteria, but let's be honest, it's low. And you see this when you get to international level, especially in bodybuilding. Girls is better, because the girls, they don't need to get a ton of muscle. They don't need to be okay. A girl can train for 1 year, win provincials,
Yeah.
win nationals, go to world champions, win the world championships.
Hundred
Because
percent.
again, it's the in striking distance, and especially if they're genetically gifted. Bodybuilding is different. You need time. You need to put on muscle.
Time.
You can't just come around
Mm.
first year unless you're a genetic freak. You can't just come in
Yeah.
first year and you think you're gonna win everything and go to world championships and make a name for yourself. Highly unlikely. You're going there to compete against pros that have been offered
Mm.
pro cards, but that never took them. So because for them, they're making money as amateurs. They're getting paid.
Yeah.
They're getting allowances, houses,
Yeah.
cars. And
They used
so,
to. They used to.
they used to, 100%.
Mm.
So, I mean, you were going up against these guys, and if you will think you're going to come into the game and just be one of those guys, forget it, right? It's a saturated sport with different calibers, like I said. Because even in the pro ranks, you turn pro, you're starting from the bottom. You're an amateur
Bottom.
pro. You're
It
starting
actually
at the
gets harder.
bottom.
It's like you're starting scratch again.
It gets harder,
Yeah.
And for some people, there's lots of things they don't take into consideration. I'm turning pro. Let's rewind it because now this is the new craze. Pro card. Everybody wants to be a pro. So let's attend this pro thing. I've been itching. You get guys coming into the game, doing a show or two, and then they like, I want to go for my pro card. I'm going for my pro card. Going for your pro card way. What pro card? Do you know what a pro card is? Do you know what it means? Have you ever seen a pro? Right? Here's another thing. You've
Mm.
never seen a pro. You only seen these guys on social media and you taking your photo and you taking their photo and you putting it side by side and you're like, I'm almost there. I can, it's just a little bit more on the back, a little
I
bit
did
more
that with
on,
CBAM all the time.
bro. I'm almost there, like one or two more years. Shut the up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You need to see
This is
this
Yeah,
in
but
scary,
a
bro.
lot
person
of
This
a
to
lot,
understand.
is
a lot of guys just want the pro card to put it on the Instagram. They don't have intentions of doing any pro shows.
But that's
Man,
another
you
okay.
know what the thing is? If I can give my 2 cents, all right, and it's going to sound a bit like I'm giving advice, but it is actually advice, all right. There, I agree with everything that Bayanda said, right? Now, the problem is who needs to direct these guys? So you hear that they're looking at social medias, they're looking at whatever, they're chasing the thing, they want sponsorships, they want to remain relevant and all these other things, right? But who is dictating their path? It's themselves and their coach. Their coach is supposed to advise them. The coach is supposed to
Mm.
see, oh, I know what a pro looks like. I know
Yes.
what a posing routine looks like that a pro is supposed to be doing. And and that's the thing is like, for example, when I did our pro show and I asked, for example, JP, am I ready? Am I ready to stand next to pros? Am I ready for this? You get what I'm saying? You know, luckily I went overseas before becoming a pro to go see what the amateurs look like overseas,
Mm.
to see what the pros look like overseas. I could clearly see standing next to them what the difference in caliber is. You get what I'm saying? Now you need to get your coach should not be telling you, and this is what irritates me. You get these young coaches that are trying to remain relevant, maybe for their brand or whatever their coaching brand is, that goes and lets their guys compete because they're aesthetically blessed, they have good structure, and they're winning shows locally. You know, it makes their name to say, oh, I'm a good coach. You get what I'm saying? All my athletes are winning local shows, whoopee, whatever. But you as a coach should know that your athlete needs time away from stage so that they can grow. You know, you should know that your athletes should be in very close proximity to that weight cutoff to become a pro. And they're not doing that. How can your athletes dictate to you as a coach that I want to compete every year, that I want to compete in this show, yet you haven't made any progress in the gym? You haven't made any progress in the weight cap. You get what I'm saying? Your coach
Yeah,
should
but
be directing you to say, listen, dude, rather take the time off that you need and just chill, put the muscle mass on. The card will be there. The stage will be there at a later stage. You get what I'm saying? And
but
another
this
thing is these athletes are trying to remain relevant. I mean, I've seen it with myself. When I compete overseas or when I compete with any show that I do, my views go through the roof. My likes go through the roof. As soon as I don't compete, I become irrelevant anymore. And the quick thing to these athletes and to these guys coming up in the ranks, they think, oh, I deserve a fucking sponsorship or whatever. Get that out of your head because it's never going to happen. I'm a fucking pro. It's even hard for me to get sponsorships. And I'm not going to ask anybody for sponsors. I'm sorry. I don't need to
Yeah.
beg for somebody for sponsors. If you're passionate about the sport, forget about that shit. The sponsors will just happen as you win shows, as you become, let's say, more relevant on social media. You don't need to change the person. People will follow your journey. People will look at what you're doing in any case. Just win shows, bro. But don't go and try chase stuff and try remain relevant. If you're serious about being a pro and getting that, take the time that you need off, get to that level, and then compete. Because once you're at that level, you can compete. That's what I said. I don't understand these guys that keep saying, oh, I'll just want to get my pro card at the end of the year and then I'll take 2 years off and then do my pro show.
But here's another thing,
yeah,
like
but it's
What does
not.
that make sense?
Yeah,
you're right, but on that note, there, there's also the element of are you even close to being a pro? And for the most part, the answer is no. Right? Let's
No.
locally right now. Let's locally right now. Look at the athletes. Look at the captain. This is not me being ugly. This is me being realistic. Nobody is ready to be a pro, right? So nobody is even. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying people shouldn't dream and want to become pros. Of course, we do that. You know, especially if you're passionate about bodybuilding. Because again, and now the question then comes: do you want to be a professional bodybuilder or do you want the pro status? Those are two different things. Okay, because some people believe that the pro status opens doors for them. I got news for you. Probably not going to happen.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Nope.
Forget about it. Right? So for me, it only makes sense to turn pro to be a professional bodybuilder and compete professionally, right? Just like any other sport. You will start at a low, at an amateur level, work your way up until we see you in the Olympics. If you're a sprinter, we see you in the Olympics. If you now you're a professional, right? If you're a boxer, we see you, yeah, in Durban, and then next thing we seeing you on freaking one of these, you know, you're a pro now. You
Big main
boxing
events.
against
Yeah.
the top of the top. You know, that's the idea. And when it comes to bodybuilding, this is it. We want to see you on the pro stage overseas competing and placing. I'll make an example. Look at Muzi, right? I'm just going to use Muzi. Why?
Hopefully not last time
Because
again.
he's a guy that just competed, placed, won, and went to Olympia. That's what we're looking to do as a pro, right? Julian won his pro card, you know, overseas again, earned it, beat all these top amateurs to become professional. Respect to that. That's what you. That's how you need to turn pro. Beat the best amateurs, right?
Yeah.
Don't try turn pro. Don't try and turn pro in December in Cape Town when there's only two people in your lineup. You know what I mean? Like it's not no shots fired to anybody. Um, it's okay if you turn pro like that, but for me,
Yeah.
look for the tougher competition. Go overseas. You need to go overseas, guys. You need to go overseas and compete with the best amateurs to see where you are, to gauge where your level is at. This is bodybuilding. It's not a game. It's a tough sport. It's an extremely tough sport that challenges you 24/7. And to put on that muscle
You know,
tissue,
you made mention about what you mentioned. You made mention of a coach also taking responsibility. I don't know if he's bird. Does he know he's cutting off?
I don't know.
Hello, Tele,
I'm
you there?
catching, bro. I'm catching. Yeah, I'm back now.
Yeah, Karen Julian, that's fine.
Yeah. So it's not always the case that the athlete wants to compete every year, because the coach can also encourage the athlete to compete every year. Why?
Yeah.
Because if you got an athlete that's going to take off, he's going to say, "Well, I don't need you in off season." He's not going to make money. You know, a lot of those won't sit with the coach in the whole off season. But off season, you're not touching bases on a regular basis like you do for prep. You know, you probably touch bases twice a month. So they most likely will not even continue paying the coach in off season.
That's the off
Well,
season that makes the physique. I find that like the more I checked in the off season, the better I was during prep.
yeah, but that's your mindset. But majority won't be. You see, for a coach, it's a risk. If you're going to tell one of your athletes, "Hey, take a year off," it's most likely something else will happen in off season, and they'll lose interest altogether, or decide that they know better and they'll do the off season themselves.
But then
Yeah.
you can't say that's well, they can't say that they really want it that badly if they think they're going to figure it out by themselves in the off season.
No, I'm
They're trying
saying
to
that's
coach
why
them
a
from
coach
America's
would still
choice.
suggest to compete every year. So you're keeping your athlete
Yeah.
in line. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Even if
Yeah.
it's one show a year.
So for me, I think people have this. This is what I was saying that in the last podcast is that they have delusions of grandeur. Like Tyron was saying about looking at a picture of a pro and looking at yourself and be like, I'm almost there. You know, I can't look at the pros and be like, I'm almost there. Like
Yeah,
seriously,
you have to
it's
be
like
fucking silly to do that, man.
yeah. And I think, and I'm sorry to say this, but like you see it quite a lot in the wellness division. Some of the girls are getting on stage fat, man, and they don't fit the criteria, but I don't know how they didn't look at like the pictures of Francili and Issa and be like, okay, I'm missing 80% of this physique, but I'm still gonna go step on stage anyway.
Sometimes you learn when you get burnt.
Yeah, that's true. And with regards to, I think it's hard to say. Like, I'm not sure if you could blame the coach on athletes not actually, should I
Being
say, like,
realistic.
yes, yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, the coach is there to advise, at
Yeah,
least.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I've seen it many a times. I can't imagine, honestly speaking, maybe it's just me, but if my athlete tells me that they're ready, no ways, bro. If I've told you that you're nowhere near that weight cap and you know where near what a pro physique should be, and you want to chase the pro card at the end of the year, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you and tell you, no, you're crazy, bro. Take off the 2 years. Like it's, and I'm seeing it. Maybe like Vic at least was very open with me, and he's like, no, you're not at he would let you know, even like let's say you've reached your bulk, your peak bulk, right? And you're looking thick and you're looking big and you feel big and you whatever. Only when you cut down are you really going to know what you look like, right?
Yeah, what your
So
improvements
around
are.
like your yeah, so around like your 8 to 6 week, sort of cut, around that time, you can sort of see what your physique is going to look like. At that stage, your coach should be analyzing to say, oh, you're well on your way to reaching that pro physique and whatever. I think we can really do this and see out the prep and go for that pro card at the end of the year. But they don't. They'll just let the guys go through. I mean, I would just take it at if my physique doesn't look at the pro level and it doesn't look ready yet, I'd be more appreciated if my coach tells me, listen, in all honesty, your back needs more development, and I can see it as if you want that pro card. Let's you've done your little cuts. Your body's going to be receptive now. It's going to be accepting carbs again. Let's go and hit that bulk up again. You get what I'm saying? And put the muscle mass, and we'll look at next year doing a show. But they don't do that. They'll just like say, okay, let's go for a show. I'm like, and I think I don't know if it's the coaches. I can't say because I'm not personally with those coaches. But I would be arguing with these guys I've seen these guys, these amateurs on social media that are trying to chase pro cards. And in all honesty, sorry, dude, you are far away from that. You are so far, and your coach should be telling you that you're far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again,
Well, there's two ways about
boys,
it, right? It is honestly easier to get a pro card here in South Africa now than to
No, it is.
overseas,
Definitely.
right? But that's fine. It's good to go get your pro card. The decision needs to be made is where after that, okay, fair enough, you got your pro card locally because it's a little bit easier, to be honest. But then the coach needs to step up and say, now, right, we're prepping for next year's first pro show. You are not in the criteria to be at that league. Let's now take a year off. You got your pro card,
Yeah.
you got your pro status, but there's a flip side to that. Once you get your pro card, you got to pay your affiliation fee for the year to still stay a pro. So you're forced to compete the year after you get your pro card. So you're still running in a
Yeah.
circle. So you still
yeah,
need to. I've got a guy who's gunning for pro card, and he was upset he didn't come. You didn't get the result he wanted. I said, well, man, listen. You gotta firstly behave like a pro to be a pro, and you gotta present a physique that is pro ready. You get your pro card today, like you said, should be ready to jump in a pro stage tomorrow. Because it's the way this thing is designed now. You turn pro, you gotta pay your registration fee and compete. I don't think you have to compete, but if you're paying fucking $5,000 for your affiliation fee for the year, you might as well compete.
Yeah.
So no point getting a
Exactly.
pro card, not registering that the pro status, and then you gotta re get it again. You gotta compete and re get it again. So
yeah,
you're right. You gotta, if you're aiming for pro card, you gotta being a pro level physique, ready for a pro
Yeah.
stage.
yeah,
Jump on today, jump on tomorrow.
yeah.
And I
I
mean,
think
like
it shows
Julian,
exception.
you saw like Julian when you competed and you got your pro card a few years back, right? When I saw you back then, your physique was phenomenal. You looked like a 212 guard. You get what I'm saying? And in all honesty, when you got your pro card, you
Those
really
fucking
did.
hamstrings. Yeah, yeah,
It's crazy. Like he looked amazing. And I could clearly see this was a bodybuilder 212 at that stage. Because why? I was looking at what's relevant back then. I looked at his pictures to what was relevant. Now, these things have evolved. your men's physiques are no longer the men's physiques it was 5 years ago. These guys
No,
are
it's not,
huge.
bro. Even
Your
classic.
classics are not the same 5 years ago as they are today. Your
Jeremy
212s are
Bodia
not the
was
same
the
as they are today.
back then. Jeremy Bodia was the men's physique. I feel that's what a men's physique should look like. These guys
No,
are
I
too
agree.
big now,
Yes.
and then they increased
Yeah.
the cap on the classic. Fuck, man. I got off stage at this the show, and one of the coaches, I won't mention the name, said to me, "Well, you brought a classic physique. These guys are bodybuilders. They gone big. Everything
Yeah.
is supersized now. Anyway,
Yeah.
you know, you can't control that. If you want to compete, you compete, and you have to fit
That's
the
it.
criteria. What is the
Yeah.
current status?
Yeah.
Look at
Why are you
Keon
doing
in
No,
the
any shows
true,
anytime
212,
soon?
true,
bro.
true.
You. Did y'all check Keon at this fucking show?
Yeah. Pretty fucking crazy.
That is open bodybuilding, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. No, they're huge, bro. They're huge. They're very, very huge.
That hamstring development in a year, that's wild, eh? What he did.
Yeah.
He fixed the flaw, and he brought it.
Yeah.
Baya, are you doing any shows anytime soon? Would you like to tell the audience? Okay. Roughly which
think
part of the year?
I think he's gonna do the Dubai Pro.
Would you like to get it off your chest?
Just make
Yeah.
sure you clock card this side first. Yeah, bodybuilding take back seat. It's just the level of your priorities. Yeah, it is backseat. It's still moving with you. But I checked you at Dubai, man. You look brilliant at Dubai. It was a pity you couldn't display it. Yeah, same. Yeah,
Yeah. Were you working with the coach in Dubai? Were you working with the coach in Dubai? Or was that all you? Okay. Yeah.
younger than me.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, my man. That's what I went through. That, especially with a newborn.
That's it.
Exactly.
100%.
You remember that Dubai Pro Show, man? There was a guy who won the overall bodybuilding. He jumped into the 212 the same day, bro, and he nearly win the damn thing. Came second. He looked mad, and he was from Dubai too.
But that's what I'm saying. I would definitely want that type of flipping experience where I jump in and I get my pro card, and the day after or on the same day I jump into a pro lineup and I win it. Then you know you got it.
Yeah, we were blown away. Hey, he was the
Whereas
talk
at the
of the show.
moment, you know, the people's mentalities are, I just want a pro card, I just want a pro card, I just want a
Yeah.
pro card.
Yeah, they
You
put it
know?
on Instagram.
They're not chasing the actual physique.
But wasn't Nick Walker the same though? Didn't he win his pro card and then jump in the pro division, the pro show the next day and place? I think it was top 3 or 4 or something like that. And then have we still got Baya? Was Derek? Ah, okay. All right. So Baya, I've just got 2 questions for you, man. One, are you going to use the same guy to coach you next year? You still got it, blast him. Yeah. Are you still there? Belito signal, man. Yeah. So you're going to use him next year?
And then he just moves like Flash after a while.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
And then he's cut down some trees there, man, and put some towers up.
I could stand on a roof.
Yeah. Okay, we've lost him. All right. Yeah. So, you guys want to talk about the Olympia this weekend? What do you think?
Give it
Okay.
for 10 minutes.
Unless
I got like
you want to do a
6% battery
recap.
That's it. That's okay. So we can wrap up shortly. It's fine. Because I'm going to edit
I
this.
think maybe we should do a recap on another episode.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that's fine. I just want to ask Baya. So, are you going to use the same coach next year? Okay, cool. Then the second question I got for you is the same thing I asked Julian last week. It's for the audience, of course. How do you balance being a dad, working full time, and still bodybuilding? Because you get people that are always like, "Oh, I don't have time for A, B, and C," and they're none of the above. 100%. Yeah.
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 That's the way it should be done anyway. You
Damn,
can't be
this thing
sitting in
freezes
the
every
gym
time the
for
man's
2
making
hours.
points. No, 100%. Exactly. Yeah.
I agree with what he's saying and the whole making excuses thing, and people just make excuses and stuff like that. But I'm gonna counter that what he's saying with just one thing. Do you think the pros are able to balance life like that, being a pro?
I think so. 100%, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
Have
Depends
you
what
seen
level
Brandon
pro you
Curry,
are.
what he does? Have you seen what Brandon
Fox
Curry
off to another
does?
country, yeah. But I mean, he's
Yeah,
one of the
fucks
few,
off to
man.
another
This,
country to get away from that shit.
yeah, but what about like
No.
Nathan, Brett, Hunter's a stepdad,
End of
but
the
like they
day,
all,
they fucking abandoning their family. Simple as that, bro. It's simple. You making this choice or that
yeah.
choice. If you feel that's more important,
Yeah.
losing time away from your family to sit in another country and chase a title,
No, but
that's your
that's
story.
exactly it. I think
I
I
won't do
think it's
that.
priorities, obviously, but I think that like I'm hearing what he's saying what he's saying, but do you know how much stress your body is going through on a daily basis to make sure you rush around, to make sure you do stuff, to make sure you get your food and whatever. Your body's going, your cortisol levels are through the roof, and I feel like the guys overseas that are pros right now they live, eat, and sleep bodybuilding. That's all they do.
Yes, they do.
They
Because when
rest.
you chat to them,
They
they
do
do.
whatever they need to do. And that's why they grow the way that they grow. You get what I'm saying? They literally
Especially the
just
guys
live,
in the
sleep,
Middle
and eat
East.
bodybuilding. That's what they do. So that's what I'm saying. I agree with Bayanda saying, like a lot of people like to make excuses that they don't have time. And I believe as South Africans, we have to do stuff this way, unfortunately. We have to balance work life, family. We have to make a living,
Yeah,
There's waiting for sponsors, you silly. You're not going to get sponsored. You have to work your fucking ass off to get the money you get in order to do the shows overseas. Don't get me wrong. And I think you guys we all going to have to, and I'm not saying that, the guys overseas are going to make it ahead, but in all honesty, I think they have the edge over us because of the
for sure.
endorsements, the life that they can live in order to be the best pro that they can be. You get what I'm saying? We are
That
subpar,
all
bro,
Yeah.
makes a
and we'll
big
always be
difference.
subpar because we have to balance life, And in all honesty, and I agree with you, Julian. I'd rather pick my family life and being happy and having a legacy for my children to be the best possible father I can be to them. If I ever
Yeah.
have it, rather than being a pro. And that's what I'm seeing at this point in time. My business is growing very well. That I'm not going to put bodybuilding ahead of it. I'm not saying that bodybuilding's not going forward with me, like he mentions, bodybuilding's in the back seat. But I'm still
Still
going to
going
put my
forward.
business ahead at this point in time so that can
Yeah.
first get to the heights that it needs to get to before I get the bodybuilding come back to life. Because guess what? If my financials are good, then I can bring bodybuilding back in and I will be more
100%.
relaxed. My cortisol levels will be
100%.
there. I won't have to stress that I need money to go compete overseas. Then come back, I have enough money to pay my rent and all this other shit. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people need to make sure that, especially with the bodybuilding, that your financials are there. Because if they're not, you're in the wrong sport.
So no, the question I understand, but we're talking about those are like the upper echelon guys who've like they've made it. They're the pros with the sponsors and they're getting paid to do this for a living. The question's more for like our audience will definitely be more people that are like lifestyle or that just follow us, and they're like, how did these guys do it? Because I'll get asked by like some
No, but
average Joe
that's
on the
that's
street or at the
exactly
gym that's like,
if I
oh,
look
how
at
do you have time to do this? Blah blah blah. And their life only consists of an 8 to 4,
Yeah.
and that's it. There's nothing else. There's no coaching. There's no fucking
yeah.
going to gym twice a day. There's no trying to do other business things on the side, all
That's
that
an
kind of stuff.
excuse.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's
Then
the
get
thing.
used to
That's an
looking at the
excuse.
way you
But
are looking.
that's
Yeah, 100%.
that's an excuse.
Yeah, yeah. You guys want to wrap it up there? I think
Thank
that's
you
enough for
guys.
this
Thank you so
episode.
much, brothers.
What do you guys
Cheers.
feel?
Battery dead, bro. 1%. So I have to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks for joining, Julian.
Like,
Tyron, thanks again, man. Cheers, man. Anytime, man. Check you.